Hey Kelly, thanks for popping in. What else do we got here? Oh, I see Jane. Hey Jane. Move so I can see your comments a little better. Coming up. All right, let's get started here, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Cochrane Coffee Chat for May 28th, 2020. I am Samantha from Urban Casual, and we're here to talk about all things Cochrane. Some events that we have coming up. Some of them are ending, so let's start with the ones that are ending. There is a campaign called Hike for Hospice, and this goes until the end of May. So you only have a few days left to get at this. It is a fundraiser, and since nobody can hike together, they have an opportunity for you to sign up and get some donations for yourself and for you to take the hike with your friends, your family, socially distanced or physically distanced from other people. But that has a few more days left where you can do that for the Hike for Hospice. Okay, so that is happening just for the last few days in May still. Also, if you have kids, even if you don't, this is kind of fun. I did it the other day myself, but you can go now tour Cochrane's Fire Hall virtually. So all the information is on the Town of Cochrane website. I will include the link here so that you can find it, but it's super fun, and if you're looking for something to do with your kids, it's definitely something to check out. You do it all on the computer. It's fairly straightforward, and I definitely encourage you to pull it out, especially if it's raining, because I hear it might do some of that in the next week or so. So the virtual fire station tour is a fun time, and it is for everybody. So that is something that you can do now as well. Currently, the Town of Cochrane has a campaign on called Cochrane Says Thanks. This started up at the middle of May, and it runs until Good Neighbor Week, which happens June 13th to the 19th. And what the Town of Cochrane is asking you to do is say thank you to, your neighbors, your friends, your businesses, services in town who have been helping you out through this time of COVID and who have been doing an exceptional job. So it's actually a poster contest. So you can go upload your poster to social media, use the hashtag Cochrane Says Thanks, and I will include the details for that. There is also a call for local performers who are invited to participate in a 20 to 60 minute performance. There is information for this too on the town website, and I will include that. So local bands or fiddlers, anybody who plays an instrument who would like to possibly entertain, there is a call for local performers on the Town of Cochrane website. So I will definitely include that for you to find right here later. Next week, this is a biggie. Everybody in the whole world, well, at least in Cochrane, has been waiting for this, but the Cochrane Eco Center will reopen next week. There are some limitations, so be mindful of that. They are asking that Cochrane and Rocky View citizens do most of the sorting of their eco goods at home, so that when they get to the center, they're really straightforward and they can put their stuff away really quickly. They don't want people walking all around back and forth, so they just want to kind of streamline the process. So do as much of the organization as you can at home. And there is a few things that won't be available. I have the list of the available services on the community news site on the website. But that is definitely reopening next week. So big excitement in town for everybody who's got lots of stuff from ordering too much cardboard deliveries. So that's next week, and exciting for that to reopen for everyone as well. Next week is also Seniors Week, June 1st to the 7th. So there will be some things going on around town to celebrate seniors. If you have a senior in your life, check them out. And, seniors are always great for stories. So don't let the seniors in your life escape without stories. So next week might be a good week to talk to a senior in your life and find out some things. Maybe something to talk about would be when they were children. What did they do for fun and things that they did without electronics, and maybe they can help inspire some ideas for us in this time of staying at home. It's really easy to get into the electronics a little bit. So next week, poke a senior for some information and for a good old story. And definitely if you are a senior, there will be some activities heading up around town for you. So I will post the link to that. It is next week, Seniors Week. That is all, I think, for the events kind of coming up for June. And there's definitely more happening all the time. I'm really loving this shift to see how things are going. Like the farmers market, it will reopen next weekend. It will take place at the Spray Lakes Sawmill Recreation Center, and it will have a bit of a different format as well. From what I have read online, it will be only food items. So if you're a vendor of other sorts, that's probably not going to be at the farmers market at this point yet. Hopefully soon. So there is some changes with that. As well, next Saturday night, there is a drive-in coming to town. It is also at the Spray Lakes Recreation Center, and this will be a free event for people living in Cochrane and surrounding area. The movie has not yet been named. There will be no washrooms. There will be no concession. You will listen to it in the vicinity of your car and watch from your car, and you're encouraged to bring your own snacks and things like that. There is a capacity, from what I hear, is 300 people, roughly 125 cars. So that is to keep everybody at optimal distance. But that is an event that is happening next Saturday, and it starts off with the farmers market early in the day at the same location. All right, so now this is where we get interactive, and you get to talk to me and tell me about what is your favorite things in Cochrane. I've got a couple topics to kind of start us off, but I want to hear from you guys some of your favorite things around Cochrane. So I'm going to start us off with the first one, which is the obvious, because we'll just start with obvious. The beauty. The mountains, the big sky, it'd be a no-brainer. Let's just start right there. We live in a gorgeous place, and we are blessed every day with the views that we have here. So that's the first thing. Going along with that, I think our trail systems and our parks are pretty good. I don't know about you. Give me a thumbs up if you like our trails and our parks. There'll be some fun things coming along soon. There's a bike park that's being built down by Garmin in the quarry. So drive by and check that out. There's been bulldozers and activities with dirt. So lots of fun coming along there. And definitely exciting for the biking crew in Cochrane. That is something I look forward to. I kind of wish my kids were a little bit younger. Maybe it'll inspire me to go try it as well. But that's definitely something that's very exciting. And I love the parks and the trails in this town. They can't be beat. We've got some really great, cool places to hang out. Let's keep them open. So let's do our good job keeping our physical distance from everyone so that we can continue using those things. Something else that happened this week, if you didn't see the town of Cochrane's news release, but you can now play on the school playgrounds in town. So they've been reopened as well. Now, something else that I love about Cochrane, which maybe isn't so well known, maybe some of you do know, but I think Cochrane is a pretty innovation building community. So currently, just with our tech companies, we have Garmin, we have 4Eyes, we have MC Things. There is a lot of tech happening in garages all over Cochrane that you guys don't even know about. So not only are we tech innovators, but in this time of COVID, I've really seen the community change to become innovators of different sorts, whether it's entrepreneurs, teachers, everyone has kind of had to work together to pull together virtual messages. And so the amount of innovation that I've witnessed in town over these last 2.5 months, I think for me has been what has been the best about all of this, whether it's from, the movie house doing their popcorn drive-through, their food drive there that was a drive-through, the bottle drive-throughs, like virtual classes online for fitness or for painting, virtual hikes, all these different things. It's just been really fun to watch businesses kind of do their business a little bit differently, and I applaud that. It's not super easy to be a businessman who has to totally flip the model and accommodate a pandemic, but kudos to everyone. So whether Cochrane is already embracing the tech community right now and feeling like we're really innovators in that space, I encourage you to think of Cochrane as innovators of a different type, especially during COVID-19. All right, that is something else that I really like in town. I am a huge proponent for the future innovation center, and I can't wait to see that get built. So more on that in the future. Something else I love about Cochrane is the feeling of community. The community is really supportive of one another, of businesses, of organizations like Big Hill Haven, the Boys and Girls Club of Cochrane. There's no shortage. Whenever there's a need, whether it's the food drives, the biannual the twice yearly food drives that's done by Helping Hands, everybody really rises to the occasion and pulls together. So that's also amazing, because I've lived in communities where, that's not quite the same. And even though we are a small town, sometimes I think we pull together the motivation of like a huge city. So that's really important about where I live, and to see that around town all the time is very inspiring and keeps me inspired to keep learning more about this place that I live, because I'm always learning something new every day, even though I have lived here for quite a while. Something else that I love about Cochrane, now I'm sure that lots of you will agree, I'm just going to take a moment here to check these things. Trails and parks, we got that. Transit system, nice to see that one come up. I haven't had the chance to take transit too many times myself yet, but I'm excited that the opportunity exists for anybody who needs it, especially my kids who will need it shortly more in their lives. So definitely transit is something that is great about our town. The next thing that I have on the list is coffee. There is no shortage of good coffee in this town. Like, we are actually super blessed. We don't even need to go to Tim Hortons or Starbucks. Not that they're not good places to go, just that we have lots of local places that serve amazing coffee. We have the Cochrane Coffee Traders. Not only do they serve amazing coffee, but they roast it themselves, and you can buy it there too. So that's pretty cool. Then we have the Hub. We have the Gentry. Good Earth is in there. So, I mean, as Cochranites, we are blessed. We are like super duper blessed as coffee drinkers. There's no reason to drink bad coffee in this town. And the last thing I have, because some of it just got delivered to my door. Now, I haven't tried it yet, in all fairness, but I did order some Lucky Penny pizza, and we are going to have it for dinner. So the owner, Tim Hall, just made a delivery to my door. Very excited to eat that pizza. It looked excellent. And we got 4 different kinds, but I'll post something about that later on when we're cooking it up. But there is so much good pizza in this town that there is also no reason to eat bad pizza. You don't have to look too hard to find a pizza joint in Cochrane, but that doesn't mean that there's just lots of pizza. It's all good pizza, and it's all different, and it's all got its own unique thing about it. So no two crusts are alike. My personal favorite is Ducks on the Roof. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was able to get it as home delivery. That is not happening now, but it's definitely a nice place to go when you don't have the kids, because their pizza is great. It's not so much the crust that is awesome about Ducks on the Roof pizza, but it's the way that they layer their toppings, for me anyways. And if you want like some really great crust, the Boot is pretty good. But as far as home delivery goes, I find like the Domino's up in Riversong is pretty good. You can't go wrong with $7.99 pizzas. My kids love that, and they come pretty quickly. But pizza in Cochrane, lots of pizza. So what are some of your favorite things about Cochrane that I didn't mention? Because obviously I could talk all day about why I love living here, but I would like to hear from you. What is something that you love about living in Cochrane? Let's see. Oh, sushi. Sakura is pretty good. I haven't been to that other one. What's it called? Is Azito? Azito? Yes, Azito. That one's by F45. I have not tried that one yet. Is it good is it good to dine in? Have you had a chance to do that or only take out? I think it was Kelly that said that. Good food as well, John Kendrick. You're right. We are super blessed with restaurants. Now, I don't know how long you've all been living here. I've been in the area since 2008, and at one point there was one breakfast place and a handful of other places. Most of them were on the 22 highway. So there was the Chinese Palace was there. There was the Smitty's. There was Coffee Traders. But there really wasn't anywhere to eat. Not huge. Oh, I forgot one coffee place, and actually, it's not a coffee place. It's not a traditional coffee place, but I will just mention it because if you haven't been to this place for one of their Vietnamese coffees, you are missing out. Luna. It's down at the middle of historic downtown, kind of across from the Royal Bank. It is an excellent place to go for coffee. They have to die for coffee. So if you go into Luna, whether to have lunch or if you just want to try it for coffee, cold or regular brew, excellent Vietnamese coffee at Luna. Let's see what else we got coming in for comments here. How about something else I'm going to bring up because they are totally worth mentioning. But we've got some really great town councilors who are really, really supportive in our community. So hands out to Marnie and Tara McFadden. I always see them out in the community. They're pretty big players in town. They're always doing fun things, and they're always lending a hand in things like the Economic Task Force and Big Hill Haven and lots of super initiatives. So town councilors, we should be fortunate for some of them. They really do care about us and have our best interest at heart. Oh, let's see. What else have I forgotten? Anybody else? Let's see. What can we bring up here? Feeling of community, beauty. I think I got them all. Like I said, I could go all day. The venue, best live music venue in the area. That is definitely true, John. Especially in the last year or two, they have really upped their game. I think next weekend they have Catch 22 in the house. I have it posted currently on the Urban Casual Events website, but I have to reach out to them just to make sure that that is still a go, because that was confirmed before COVID. So I'm not sure if the venue is having bands just yet, but they are definitely open at 50% capacity. So if you like the venue, they have some UFC this weekend, and there's something else, but it's on the events calendar. So go check that out, John. Anyone else? We're coming up to the end here of our time. But definitely, I should also mention that on the Cochrane and Area Events Society page, Canada Day, they have their contest number 1 is up. So if you want to write about Canada and what it means to be Canadian to you, there is their first contest up for Canada Day Fun. So that is on the Cochrane and Area Events Society page. You have, I think you can enter until the middle of June, and then they have a cutoff so that they can choose a winner before Canada Day. So that is something that is on the go. Also, last week I mentioned for Canada Day that you do need to follow their page for Canada Day events. So if you aren't following the Cochrane and Area Events Society Facebook page, you should go do that right now, and I'll make sure that I highlight them in the post for you so you can find their page easy. And if you feel like saying thanks to Cochrane businesses, services, anybody who's kind of done something special in your life for the last, the last couple months, create a poster, submit it on social media with the hashtag Cochrane says thanks, and you have until Neighbors Week to submit that, which is June 13th. And the big news for today is actually just that the Eco Center is open next week, so take your stuff. Oh, I did forget to mention one of the rules is that only one person can get out of your car, and you must be wearing gloves. So this is important, because if you get all the way to the Eco Center, they probably won't let you in unless you are wearing gloves. So make sure that that is something that you're doing. And if anybody is having a Cochrane event, virtual or otherwise, please reach out to me and I will add it to the events calendar for you. And as always, that's another week of the Cochrane Coffee Chat. It's been fun chatting with you about all the things that are fun in Cochrane. Let's see what, I'm just going to check comments one more time. The Heartland crossing to be completed soon. I agree. I also saw that the bridge is going ahead with more construction starting next week and is scheduled to be done by October. So that is good to see. And yeah, I think we got all the comments there. I don't want to miss anybody. It's nice that you all drop in to listen to me talk. But it's been a great week of weather, so make sure you get outside and enjoy the fresh air and those virtual hikes. Go do a virtual hike for hospice. Only a few days left, and you can do that on your own time with your own friends, your own trail. Lots of fun things. And yeah, a few of my favorite things, Cochrane. I can't name everything because I'd be here all day, but I think I got the highlights in. So if you have something that you would like to mention, definitely pop it in the comments here, and I will go over them tomorrow morning and see what you've come up with. All right, so I want to hear more about why you like living in Cochrane, and I want to hear about some like cool stuff that nobody knows. So maybe something's happening in your neighborhood that not everybody in Cochrane would know about, but like you think it's really cool. Yeah, let us all in on why you like living here, because we all live here together, and some of us might just live here because this is where we grew up. Some of us might live here because this is where our job is. But ultimately, there's a reason that keeps you invested in your community, and that's what makes us such a great place to live. So think about it and come write it down. I look forward to seeing why you love living here too. I'll see you next week, Cochrane. Bye.